เดินไปอ่ะ
Children are from non-observant families. We have some Orthodox, some from Reformed families, some secular families. Okay, this way. This way, come on. This way. Teachers.
And now stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, in and out. Follow Shula out. You guys also, so come up here. Yeah. Come on, everybody. Want to wave your flag?
The President is due shortly.
מה קורה איתנו עכשיו?
אנחנו הולכים לילדים.
אני יודע, דיוק צמח. עשו תעשיות אחת.
We have some umbrellas, I think.
יש לה מילוי היום.
Welcome to the JSHK. Welcome to Hong Kong.
אני חושבת, כן.
Sorry.
Regaining time.
Hello again. Saw you last night.
Okay, just leave for the husband. Okay, just stay here, just stay here, okay? No need to rush, just stay
My name is Boaz.
הנקולה שלי. אני מרמת המסס. אני אחראית השנים שאתה כאן. אני אחראית מקצועי, אני בעלי, ואני
לקרוא לו לוחץ ידיים.
阿禮 Sir， 我諗到 OK 㗎啦，呢個我都唔計㗎啦，而家 OK 嘅應該。Tap on his shoulder.
Ladies and and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Chairman of the Trustees, Mr. Michael Green.
Your Excellency President Weizman and Mrs. Weizman, Consul General Halfan and Mrs. Halfan, honored guests. On behalf of the Jewish community of Hong Kong, it is my privilege to welcome you to the Jewish Community Center.
Thank you.
This is a community with strong ties to Israel, and we are honored by your presence here today. There has been a Jewish presence in Hong Kong for approximately 150 years, and over these 150 years, Jews have played an important part in the political, social, and cultural life of Hong Kong. The Jewish Historical Society of Hong Kong has done a wonderful job in capturing the richness of our history, and with the assistance of the University of Hong Kong, is preparing a social history of the Jewish community of Hong Kong. The Carmel School is Hong Kong's only Jewish day school, and in the course of 8 years has grown to 180 students. We take great pride in all that it has achieved and are committed to strengthen and support Jewish education. The Jewish Women's Association has played an active role in raising funds for charitable purposes in both Israel and Hong Kong. Our United Israel Appeal campaign reaches out to a broad cross-section of the Hong Kong Jewish community and permits us an opportunity to participate in renewal and immigration absorption in Israel. The earlier synagogue has been carefully restored and shall soon celebrate its 100th birthday. Our architects and engineers assure us that it will be able to serve for at least another 100 years. It is in fact the oldest synagogue in this part of the world in continuous use. Our Jewish Community Center is strengthened by the active involvement of the Israeli consulate in Hong Kong, and we feel very privileged to have Consul General Uri Halfon amongst us. He and his consulate staff are working with us to provide a strong Israeli emphasis in our programs here at the JCC. Your Excellency, as you can see, we are no longer a distant outpost somewhere in the Jewish world. We are a vibrant, dynamic, growing Jewish community with strong ties to Israel, a link that is substantially strengthened by your presence here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Your Excellency, the President of Israel, Mr. Weizman and Ruma Weizman, Mr. Michael Green, and distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, members of the JCC, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. President and Mrs. Weizman, welcome to Hong Kong Jewish Community Center. Allow me to say a few words about your magnificent career, sir. President Weizman, I once said that you have a magnificent president, and he said, not everybody thinks like you. I do think that everybody thinks that you are okay. President Weizman was born in Tel Aviv in 1924. He is an Air Force general, industrialist, and politician. He was elected in 1993 as Israel's 7th president and was re-elected in 1998 for a second term of office. His military career began when he joined the British Royal Air Force during World War II. After the war, he served in the Israeli Air Force and was one of its founders and architect of its modernization. In 1956, he was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the IF, and in 1996 he became head of 58.
זה סימן שהוא שומע. מה שאתה אומר, הוא מקשיב.
Okay. I will correct it later. He became head of IDF operation and deputy chief of staff. Okay. His political career was launched in 1969 when his appointment as Minister of Transport. A high point of his public service came during his tenure as Minister of Defense, when he was the central figure in the peace negotiation with Egypt in Camp David that led to the peace accord with Egypt. In 1985, he was appointed as Minister without portfolio, and from 1988 to 1992, he was the Minister of Science and Development. Mr. President, one of the main continuous commitments throughout the 51 years of Israel's modern history that obligates both Israel and the diaspora Jewry is to safeguard the unity of the people of Israel and confirm the bonds between diaspora Jews and Israel as a primarily goal. Dear Mr. President and Mrs. Weizman, your visit to the JCC and the synagogue symbolize this unity and reflects the strong ties between Hong Kong Jewry and Israel. It is a great honor to host you, President Ezer and Mrs. Weizman, in Hong Kong. We look forward to further strengthening the friendly relation that already exists between Hong Kong and Israel. Thank you.
I take it that a few words you do understand. I'm sorry that you're standing and I'm sitting down. I don't like it. But there are not enough chairs in the community of Hong Kong. I managed in my 6 years in office to come to China. It's been a long will on my side to visit China. I think China is part of the future of this world. It is in a changing situation since the end of the Second World War. And what we see now will grow and grow, and China will be stronger economically, politically, internally. And a few days I spent in Beijing and Shanghai, meeting the President, the Prime Minister, the Vice Prime Minister, and a few other friends. I'm more convinced now that I was right in my appreciation of what will happen in the future of the world. A few words about Israel. Israel today is a country that is being consolidated. We've still got a long way to go before we become a strong nation. We are a strong nation, but we have to be stronger. Now, I don't mean how many tanks and how many airplanes. Strong in will, strong in belief, strong in unity, and strong in aims of where are we going to. We are now 5 million Jews in Israel, and I'm looking forward to the day that we'll be over the Jewish community of the United States, which is a symbol, not so much an aim in life. But America now is just over 5 million, and my opinion is that within about 20-25 years, they'll shrink to between 4 million to 5 million. So will happen to England, so will happen to Europe. Hong Kong I'm not familiar with, but I have a feeling it'll be the same. And we, now that we are 5, we'll be over 6 and we'll be 7, because the only place where Judaism, in its Zionist way, we also have a religious way, but there are less arguments about Zionism than about ways of religion. And I believe that Israel will be the bastion, the fortress of Judaism, when the rest of the diaspora diminishes itself, because it will disappear in intermarriages and assimilation. You can see it in the States, you can see it in England, you can see it quite clearly in France. So we have a purpose. We have a purpose to keep Israel for the Jewish people. Those who want to come, welcome. Those who want to stay here for 15, 20 years, they're welcome to Hong Kong. But I do believe that this is the aim in life, to make a healthy a strong nation. We've achieved a lot in the last 51 years since independence. We had a very tough time. Anyone here who fought in the independence war?
Yes.
I thought you faced. Where? Is this a lady or a man waiting? Where were you, my dear lady? Were you fighting in Tel Aviv? Where?
She's from Tel Aviv.
I came this 48, right to the army from the ship.
From the ship?
Italy, yeah, from
What ship did you come on?
Adriatic.
Ah,
Right.
this was not on a Mapilim ship. No. We came with certificate.
The last one.
How did you manage that?
Because my husband was
Are you in business in Hong Kong? Because with someone who could get a certificate out of the British in 48 must have a good head for business. What part of the army were you in?
I was in the parachutist. I was putting together.
מקפלת מצנחים.
You were folding the
Yes,
parachutes.
and I had a lot of sleepless nights. I
Believe
did
me,
it
those
in the
who have
right
to jump
way.
from the parachute. Okay, let's not get like that. So how long have you been in Hong Kong? כמה זמן את פה? 10 years. Yes. You're from Hungary? Yes?
איך ידעת?
Bless you. How is such a nice. Lakos, yes. Okay.
אני הייתי בחטיבת 8 של משחק שדה בנגב.
You were in 8th Brigade?
That's right.
On armored cars?
That's right.
And
No, by jeeping.
In Jeeping, and we
Strulna.
and we hit you by mistake. Well, at least it's nice to see a few old fighters. So, we, after a very difficult war in 48, the lady from Tel Aviv helped win the war, and you, we managed to stop the Egyptians, the Syrians, some Iraqi forces, the Jordanians were trying to cut half of Israel, but I won't go into this one. As I said yesterday somewhere, when I'm told, you know, I remember you from the war, I have to ask which one. And this is the thing we want to stop. And I'm very proud, because I don't want to go into the history of battles of Israel. I hope that in school at least, the kids study not only Alamein and the Battle of Britain and whatever that was. I'm very proud that I took part in all the wars of Israel except the Lebanese. And I took part in the Second World War. And that for 20 years, I've been dedicating my life. This is my aide, Schumer. Do me a favor. To achieving peace. And I had a great experience being in Camp David with the late Mr. Begin, with the late Moshe Dayan. We were 3 ministers. Begin was PM, Dayan was foreign minister, I was defense minister, and we managed to get the first peace treaty with a major Arab country, Egypt, and it's still holding very well. It has ups and it has downs, it has affiliation to the Palestinian problem. Last Thursday, a week ago, I was in Cairo for lunch to talk to the president of Egypt, who took over from Mubarak and from Sadat, and is trying, not hard, he's succeeding to improve the welfare of Egypt and to keep the peace treaty and develop it with us. I believe that after our elections, whoever is elected will have to continue the peace process, which is first of all with the Palestinians, and then with the Syrians. And I hope that by the time some of you will decide to come back home, which is about 15 years, I right, my dear lady? Okay. We'll have peace with all our neighboring countries, where we need it not only to safeguard our lives, not only to save lives of our youngsters, but to be able to open up to the world more than we do now. For instance, negotiations and life with China and Hong Kong, a lot depends on the situation in Israel, because nobody would like to come and do business if something blows up. By the way, lately it's calmed down quite a bit. So we have certain aims in our program, which needs some time, because we have not only problems with the Arabs, we have problems with the Jews, which is more difficult than with the Arabs. We are cousins. We're cousins. Characteristically, we're quite familiar. We're quite similar. So don't want to go further into that. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see you all prosperous and happy, living. I understand you all live in this area. Oh my God! all of you in 2 buildings. מה שייך לצ'יינה?
פה, הונג קונג, בניין גדול, ומאיפה אתה בא מהבניין הזה, וכולם שכנים.
כן, מה אתה עושה פה?
משרד שלי.
של מה?
ייצור, אני מייצר בסין ואני מייצר לדרום אמריקה. בגדים.
כמה זמן אתה מייצר ומייצר?
אני כבר באזור פה 25 שנה.
You won't be able to see the piece because it'll be within 15, 20 years. How old are you?
I will come before.
How old are you?
15.
We'll give you a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, nice to be with you. I've got to go to the house of the chief executive, whom I met first time in Jerusalem in my office, and we struck a certain quite a friendship. We had a good evening last night, and from there I'm off to the airfield. Weather is all right, and we take. No, I didn't mind. I mean, Hollywood. Oranges. Chemical oranges, I have enough of them. I'm here in an Israeli Air Force plane with Israeli crew. The Lieutenant Colonel commanding the squadron is flying me, all Israeli crew, which is very nice to fly. On the way from Israel to Beijing, there was an El Al plane crossing us, and I spoke to some of the crews at the time. I knew them. To some of them I presented wings many years ago. There's one on my crew, he's on reserve now. Also I gave him some wings, so I feel completely at home there. So I'm looking forward to say goodbye to you and dash along to my little plane. No, first of all to the chief executive. That's a term I have to get used to. And tonight we're off to Kunming, where I'm going to meet again the president of China, who we've become quite friends, and a few other dignitaries, to see the flower show and the exhibition. And on Saturday, I'm going to have the rest. Mr. Rabbi? I don't know if there's a synagogue in Kunming. Probably not. And I'm going to take off when Shabbat goes out and take off to Tashkent, refuel in Tashkent, because going west we need fuel, and land, inshallah, in Ben Gurion Airport at 6:30 Israeli time Sunday. Nice seeing you. Bye-bye.
Can I give you from the Hong Kong Jewish community in commemoration of your visit here?
May I open it up, please?
And I'd like to propose a toast to the President, the State, and the people of Israel.
And I will add on a little, you're like punctuating in Hebrew, a little bit of a chilik, whatever we will use, for the single, to the Jewish community in Hong Kong. להתראות. Where's the SAP? Right, come up here and speak to us.
It's actually, you're coming at a very fortunate time. Is English all right? Yeah. The synagogue, just 8 months ago, was restored to its original grandeur. You would have come just a few months ago, everything was in white, poles, everything painted. Now it's been restored by the trustees. Sure. At his sole expense and the land given jointly by his brothers and himself in memory of their mother Leah. The name of the shul is Ohel Leah, the Knesset Ohel Leah, and it's to perpetuate the memory of Leah Sassoon, who they wanted to perpetuate forever with the Jewish community of Hong Kong. If you look around at all of the brilliant colors, and as well as the chandeliers and the beautifully restored original furniture, this is all the product of many days and months and years of work that was conducted by the trustees to restore this synagogue to its original grandeur, the way it looked in 1902. If you step forward,
We are in a hurry, my dear Rabbi.
yes, I will show you the most important features are the Torah scrolls. Inside the story but the Torahs range from 2 years old, which this is the newest one, and you can see how clear the print is. This one was commissioned from Israel and it was delivered here. It was jointly sponsored by the trustees and by donations from the community. How long ago? This one's just 2 years old. This is almost a very new one. However, the Torahs range to estimates of well over 200 years old. And the reason for that is that actually quite some time ago, in 1974, there was actually some Torahs that were found by a German friar in Vogt. He actually found some Torahs that were on sale in a local market in he referred them to the Kaduri family. He said, listen, there are some Torahs in the local market, and he purchased 4 of them. They are Sephardic Torahs. Most of them are actually originally from Baghdad. From Baghdad. No, it was a German friar who was positioned out in Hong Kong and pointed it out to the Kaduri family, and they immediately purchased it actually for 5,000 Hong Kong dollars, all 4 Torahs. Now these are what are considered cases of Torah. If you notice, it was written on cloth that is unlike any Torah that is nowadays. Almost like this, right? Almost like beautiful, almost like shoe leather that it was written on. It was carried by the Jews from Baghdad. The Jews who came here originally, they passed from Hong Kong to India to branch out their businesses in India, and then eventually they ended up in parts of China and Hong Kong. And if you notice, these are actually much smaller than the other ones in order to make it importable. Valerius was one of the first founding families of Jerusalem. They are priceless.
מעניין? You want to go in?
של 180 ילדים בגיל 3 עד גיל 11 לומדים הרבה על ציונות, ככה לפחות הם אומרים. אני מניחה שקיבלת את זה.
אני פה. אני אגיד לך. Move back, please. Come on, that's it. Come on, that's it. Just move back. Just be... Cute. Just keep going back.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Excuse me that I was...